In this week's Forces Sports Show, we're revisiting the individual service football finals of 2019. Expect a hatful of goals as the Commando Logistic Regiment claimed their second Royal Navy title in 3 years, beating HMS Seahawk after extra time. It also takes extra time for Bryce Norton to see off Coningsby to win their first RAF final in 29 years. And there are new names on the Army Challenge Cup, as 2-1 Engineer Regiment and 3 Regiment Army Air Corps share 6 goals. But we start with the Army Minor Units final in Aldershot between the Armour Centre and the Army Training Regiment from Winchester. Could the Armour Centre become the first team in 7 years to retain the trophy? Julian Evans watched the game.
This was a repeat of last year's final, but where 12 months ago Armour Centre ran out comfortable 3-0 winners, this time it was ATR Winchester who went in front first. Jason Silver collected the ball outside his opponent's penalty area before firing past Armour Centre keeper Damien Fisher with just 6 minutes played. There were few clear-cut chances in the first half, but the quick Silver caused the defending champions 1 or 2 problems. His pace took him deep into Armour Centre territory. Unfortunately, Dan Staveley couldn't convert the opportunity and it remained 1-0 at the break. ATR Winchester appeared to be cruising to the title, but a moment of magic just after the hour mark changed matters. Clayton Neal's cleanly struck volley levelled the scores and altered the outcome of the match. With the teams locked at 1-1 and just over 7 minutes to go, extra time beckoned. However, a howler in the Winchester defence allowed Armour Centre's goal-scoring hero Neal to strike yet again. Surely that was the winner. The celebrations seemed to suggest it would be. But less than 60 seconds later, it was again all square. A sweet strike from Winchester skipper Mark Evans made it 2-2, and the sides would need extra time to decide who would take home the trophy. In fact, it took just the first 2 minutes of the added half an hour to produce the winner. Josh Hewson's tame effort rolled its way untouched into the Winchester net, and Armour Centre had retained their title.
It was 2011-2012 when it was last defended, so that was definitely our aspiration today. It was the one thing we wanted to win this season. It's a long old season and it was a very competitive game, but fortunately we came out on top.
Small unit, what does it mean to come away at the end of the year with all the football that you've played with the silverware?
It means a lot. I mean, there's a lot of turbulence. People throughout the summer move on and they go back to their units. So we have that turbulence with players coming around, but everybody stepped up. And when we've needed to rely on the fringe players in the squad, it's proved very fortunate.
We'll have the Army Major Units final later, but now to the Royal Navy football final held at HMS Drake in Plymouth, and 2 old West Country adversaries, HMS Seahawk and the Commando Logistic Regiment Royal Marines. 2 teams used to winning the Navy Cup. Coldrose in light blue shirts last lifting the trophy in 2014, while the CLR won it in 2017 and knocked out last year's winners 4-2 Commando in the semi-finals. Both had early chances to take the lead, TJ Walter knocking Jamie Thurkel's cross just wide for Seahawk. And Elliot Satchel's shot saved by Jamie Stewart. It was the Marines who opened the scoring on the half hour. Sam Cherry's corner met by captain Richard Charles, saved by Stewart, but Taylor Lawrence Van Poos first with the follow-up to head home. Coldrose responded and nearly equalised immediately. Walter's cross and Jack Stocker hitting his shot just wide. 1-0 to the CLR at half-time, but they pounced straight after the break, and it was former Royal Navy and UCAF man Jamie Thurtle who made the goal. A run and cross from the left found Stocker, who touched it on to Walter. His goal-bound shot only helped over the line by the CLR captain Charles for 1-1. Both sides had their chances to win in normal time. CLR came closest, Charles's header from Satchel's cross rattling the Coldrose bar. And the men in dark blue and green also hit the woodwork again in the first half of extra time through Connor Burgess. Man of the match Lawrence Van Poos almost bagging his second goal. More composed finishing from both sides could have netted a winner, but just when penalties looked on the cards, in the final seconds of extra time, the bootnecks snatched it. Satchell laid it wide to the right for Josh Jones, and his cross was touched home by the outside of Macaulay Plant's right foot to elude Stewart. Tough luck on Seahawk, who'd given their all across 120 minutes, but joy for the CLR.
That's what you dream of, innit, as a kid, and we did it. We had a plan tonight and we executed it. I'd just like to say a massive congratulations to Cold Rose to get into the final and being formidable opponents. I'm sure their time to shine will come. However, we're going to celebrate tonight, and I think we deserve it. I'm really proud of my players.
I mean, great for the bootnecks. You're keeping hold of this trophy. It's been in the hands of the Royal Marines for quite a long time. In fact, your second win in 3 years. Yeah, and hopefully there'll be more to come from CLR. We seem to churn out final performances, and yeah, really chuffed with today's performance. What makes your team so special then? I think without being cheesy, it's the bootneck qualities that we live by. I think we put that into play on the pitch, and it pays dividends. The Navy Cup has seldom been out of Royal Marines' hands over the last decade. The CLR have ensured it remains with the bootnecks for at least another 12 months. The RAF football final produced a bit of history. Bryce Norton hadn't won the Cup for 29 years, and they were up against fierce rivals Coningsby. It turned out to be a real thriller. Goals galore in a rematch of last year's final. Coningsby had been to Gibraltar to train on the 4G pitch there to prepare them for the artificial surface here. But in truth, both sides adapted well to the plastic pitch as they served up an 8-goal thriller. It was Bryce who started well, and they took the lead on the 27th minute. Jack Brown-Porter's cross headed home by James Morrison. But Coningsby upped the pressure, and the Lincolnshire League champions and cup winners were rewarded when Steve Norton volleyed home Lee Gemble's cross, 1-1. Bryce, though, retook the lead just before half-time. Mike Atkinson connecting with James Hollis's long ball, and a perfect finish gave James Rutherford in the Coningsby goal no chance. After the interval, it was almost 3-1. A break down the right from Atkinson, and Ali Izzard's header rattled the bar. But on 65 minutes and on the break, Coningsby were again level. A 1-2 with Josh Brayson, and Norton bagged his second goal. And 9 minutes later, the cup holders were ahead for the first time in the match. A strike from the unmarked Brayson. Mike Carr left unprotected in the Bryce goal. But it took just a minute for the determined Bryce Norton team, London League and Cup winners, to level it. A perfect free kick was headed in by Dave Wanless. It stayed at 3-3 up to 90 minutes and after the first half of extra time. It looked like we might be heading for penalties, but with just 5 minutes left, Bryce's Wes Christian was on the end of a great pass from Wanless to break the deadlock. And minutes later it was 5. Atkinson laying it on a plate for Wanless to score his second goal and settle the final as Coningsby paid the price searching for an equaliser. 5-3 the result. Bryce Norton's 29-year search for the RAF Cup finally over.
29 years is too long for our team. We've been quality for the last few seasons. We lost it last year, which was painful, and we were determined to win it this year.
Yeah, of course it was a grudge match against the side that beat you at Watford last year. So what was different about this game?
Our determination from last year was we were determined not to lose again. We weren't having it again. We all dug in, and the boys were brilliant today.
The two finals in the past 2 years against Coningsby have been unbelievable games and a great representation of football across the Air Force. And the fact that we stand here together now just shows what a close game it was again today. But they got one last year, and unfortunately it was our turn. Unfortunately for you, unfortunately for me.
Great sportsmanship, and it shows a lot. I mean, you know, playing 120 minutes on this 4G pitch must have been energy sapping for both sides.
Absolutely. I think on both parties, you can't ask any more of the players. You know, the energy levels was fantastic, the sportsmanship was fantastic, the commitment, really testament to football and what the RAF talent's got, because it's a special time.
And for Bryce Norton especially, a time for them to celebrate their first RAF Challenge trophy since 1990. Coming up, we've action from the 2019 Army Major Units final between 2-1 Engineer Regiment and 3 Regiment Army Air Corps, both in their first final. And with a 9-goal thriller between the Royal Marines and the Paras for the Falklands Cup. Welcome back to the Forces Sports Show as we revisit some of the 2019 single service football highlights. The Army Major Units final for 2019 pitched together 2-1 Engineer Regiment and 3 Regiment Army Air Corps. Joining me for commentary, the Army's senior football coach, Major Sean Birchnell. But it's straight away the Sappers on the attack here. They've got a chance breaking into the penalty area, but well cut out there for the Sappers by Adam Brown. And we've got the first corner of the game. The corner then coming in, taken short and flicked forward, but a chance for... Oh, and it's straight in, and it is a goal. We've had an early goal. What a start for the Sappers. Well, it just weren't picked up at all, and it's in the back of the net already. Well, just a minute play. Let's have a look at the replay, and we can see it was... tucked in by the number 4. That's Adam Gollings who scores the goal for the Sappers as they take an early lead here.
Which is slightly unorthodox, shall we say.
Ridley to take the corner on that far side. Headed clear, but the danger not over just yet. Good tackle there. And a chance now for 3 Regiment to go on the break themselves. And this is Daniel Rimble on that far side, on the right-hand side. Opportunity still there for number 3 Regiment. It's a great turn and a great shot from Daniel Tewkesbury. Great bit of skill from... They've got another corner here. They're 5th of the second half. It's taken well. And the second goal, nearly.
And I think the referee might have some decisions to make here as well.
Maybe we can have a look at that again, because he's going over to have a discussion. Corner comes in. Well, it was Hutchinson went down. He was certainly challenged, and it's a red card. And that surely is a penalty then, is it? It's a red card for Lewis Clark. He's been sent off, and it is a penalty. 3 Regiment Army Air Corps to get back in this game. They're already down to 10 men. And it's tucked away. Driving forward, though, a real opportunity now for the 3rd goal, and that is the 3rd goal, and Dominic Creamer has scored the goal, which surely is going to be enough for the Sappers. He just picked the ball up and really waltzed his way through the defence, didn't he? It was a very simple goal, really, but Creamer gets the goal. It's 3-0 now, as we see here, really unopposed there, and no chance really for Copeland. Army Air Corps chasing forward. A nice bit of play there by Mark Kidd into a chance for them. And a shot from Kidd, and he gets the ball into the net. Mark Kidd scoring the goal there for 3 Regiment. And that makes it 3-1. And a chance again. Oh, and they're through once again, and it is going to be a 4th. And a similar move, really, to what created the 3rd goal. And it's Dominic Creamer getting his 2nd goal of the afternoon to make it 4-1.
Go-to man when they were breaking, counter-attacking.
As the Air Corps break one more time for 3 Regiment. Nice intricate play, but... Oh, it's lost. And there's a real chance for another goal. It is another goal, and it's Dan Tewkesbury who's got it. So we've had a flurry of goals in this second half. Dan Tewkesbury is the scorer. And that is the final action of the 2019 Army Cup final. And it is a victory A clear victory for 2-1 Engineer Regiment by 4 goals to 2 against 3 Regiment Army Air Corps. Great moments, and moments they'll savour forever. As you said, Sean, it's not everyone who gets the chance to do this.
No, and again, I think they'll enjoy the moment and they'll enjoy tonight, and they'll start planning hopefully to retain it next year.
All guns blazing in the second half, and the sending off probably the turning point, I should think. And you'll probably concur with that as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it did sort of change the game. The lads still cracked on as normal, and give them credit. They cracked on with their 10 men, but I think it maybe changed the game a little bit.
The Falklands Cup hadn't taken place for several years, with the Paras and the Royal Marines doing battle at Exmouth Town FC, and it produced a thriller. We waited 27 minutes for the opening goal from Paras' Ash Colclough. In there for the Marines, but he loses out. Great bit of play from Lazelle. Touches it to his number 9, and it's in. And we do have the first goal of the evening, and it's Ash Colclough who scored it. Within 3 minutes, the Marines were level. Lazelle to have a go at goal. Wasn't too much of a problem, but a real chance now for the Marines to level it, and they've got it. Well, he only needed half a chance, and Stu Morgan has put the ball into the back of the net. And almost immediately, the men in green took the lead. Morgan again, firing it back upfield, and a chance once again for the Marines, and surely it's going to be a second goal, and it really is a second goal. Stu Morgan has added a second, 32 minutes, and it's 2-1 to the Royal Marines. It was 2-2 minutes later. They lose it, and a chance at a header, and it's in! My word, 35 minutes, and a second goal for the Parachute Regiment, and it is that man again, Ash Colclough, who's got it, this time with a header. And then the Paras retook the lead. Fryer then, with the free kick. And it takes a deflection, and it goes in! Well, it took a deflection off the wall, and Harry Fryer will certainly claim that one, I'm sure he will. But right on half-time, yet another goal. Shay Saunders there to square things yet again. Play then by the Marines with Jake Byrne. Free kick over, so shot comes in, and it's followed up, and it's in! Well, 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 would you believe it? It's 3-3. Just before the hour, Dan Cherry turned in a close-range chance to put the Marines in front for a third time, 4-3. They then had a host of chances, denied by the woodwork, and some fine goalkeeping from Ewan Graham. Bryant, will he go for goal? Yes, he will! Oh, that was a terrific effort, and he hits the crossbar with that. The Bootnecks captain, Richard Charles, then missed a great chance. Corner comes in there, and it's headed in a free header, really, and he's really annoyed with himself. And right on full-time, Matt Lord looked to have given the Paras a share of the spoils. Donovan still on the ball. Flicks it inside. Drennan inside the penalty area, still going. Opportunity, and it's in! An equaliser, and a man who's had a great part to play in this game tonight, Matthew Lord, is the man on the end of it inside the penalty area, and he levels it at 4-4. Only for a final twist in the tail. But the corner comes in again, on the end of it again, and it is in! And this time the man who has scored the goal is the captain, Richard Charles. Oh my word, it's 5-4.
The rivalry's really big with the Royal Marines and the Parachute Regiment, so it's nice to get one over on them.
But what a match. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
had a bit of everything, I think.
It certainly did, and the end was unbelievable. I mean, I have to say, and you won't want to be reminded about this, that you missed an open goal right at the end, which could have sealed it. They then equalised, literally on 90 minutes, and then you stepped up with the winner.
Yeah, a little bit of redemption, I think. I think I rectified my mistake and got a little bit lucky, lost my marking, ended up scoring the winner, so it's a good feeling, yeah.
It's like you say, we fought hard, we managed to get that last goal, which we thought was going to be enough to just clinch something out of the game, which we thought we thoroughly deserved, especially after going ahead. But yeah, like congratulations to the Marines. They fought hard, last minute goal, and that just nipped it for them.
And that's it for this edition of the Forces Sport Show. We'll leave you with a reminder of some special goals that produced some very special Forces matches in 2019. See you again soon.